Buying local or shopping local is a slogan I've heard for decades. And I agree with the idea. We always have a choice of where to shop, and sometimes the small or local business requires a few sacrifices. A small business just doesn't have the resources of a large corporation. When do we decide that the small or local business just won't cut it? Should we always feel bad for shopping at a big business? Or sometimes it's just the right decision. Buy local usually implies small business. The idea is that the money you spend at a small business stays within the community. The profits of that small business can be used to upgrade the shop, and they'll hire local contractors to do the work. With a large chain, all the profits are sent to headquarters in New York City or wherever they're located. Definitely not in the local community. Not only that, but if a local market or repair shop doesn't get enough business to stay open, it'll close down, and it's very unlikely that something will open up to take its place. And that's one less local resource, and we'll all be forced to drive long distances into the big city to get goods and services. I first encountered the buy local or shop small business campaigns in the 90s when Walmart moved into my local area. And I think that's pretty common. Walmart is frequently painted as a small business killer. But the slogan didn't originate with Walmart. It's a lot older than that. Some of the earliest mentions of buy local in print was in the late 1800s when railroads started to expand. Shop owners in isolated small towns had to compete with cheap goods arriving by rail. I definitely see the value of small business. I had one myself. And living out here, away from the larger cities, I really appreciate not having to drive 30 or 60 miles for my basic needs. So I always give small or local businesses the first crack at my business. For example, I need a pharmacy for my medications. So I chose a small local pharmacy instead of CVS or Walmart. And the service was slower, and overall the prices are higher, and the selection is smaller. But I didn't mind any of those sacrifices. And the time and higher prices are offset by not having to drive 30 miles to get to the bigger stores. But I have my limits. My prescriptions are automatically filled every month. And for the first refill, the local pharmacy didn't have it in stock. Now, these aren't the kind of meds you can stop taking, so it was a big problem. But I gave them another shot. And the next month, the same thing happened. And the third month, well, 3 strikes you're out. I had to find a better pharmacy. So I switched to Walmart. And I haven't had a problem with Walmart since. There's a small local hardware store. And their shelves are bare. They're out of stock of everything. The final straw was when I needed some nails. And they were out of nails. Not one size or one kind of nail, but completely out of nails. There wasn't a nail in the store. I mean, come on, it's a hardware store. So now when I need something, I either order online or I head to a big box store. I don't bother checking the small local place anymore. They just can't keep things on the shelf. The thing is, a well-run small business doesn't stay small very long. It tends to grow. And if they're really that good, but stay small, they end up becoming a landmark and people come from miles around to visit it. Of course, large businesses can be terrible too. And I'll take my business elsewhere just as quick. I've noticed quality rises and falls over the years. Some places get better, some places get worse. An example of one that's getting worse is fast foods. The whole industry seems to be on a downward trend. Prices are going up, quality is slipping, service is terrible. I haven't been to a fast food place in, a very long time. It would take a lot for them to gain my business back. Some people say I'm not forgiving enough. I need to relax a little bit more. Others say I'm too generous. I shouldn't worry about how big the business is. If they're good, they get my business. If they're bad, they don't, no matter what size they are or where they're located. I was a small business owner, and I do feel some compassion for other small business owners, but you can't use your small size as a crutch. I don't know. What do you think? Do you give small businesses a second chance just because they're small? Does the size of the business affect your choices of where to shop? Let me know in the comments. As always, I appreciate your likes and subscribes. Thanks for watching. My name's Joe. This is Off Grid Solitude, and I'll see you in the next video.